Here's Rick Jordan.
Top of the morning. Beautiful day. Wish we were fishing today. Opening tomorrow. Minnesota fishing season. So who you talk to on a day like this? Okay, Jared Houston. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Listening to that too and wanted me to go get in a boat and just relax, man. That is a relaxing little segment into this talk.
Sternberg found it.
I love it. Love it.
I saw this Jared Houston walking the halls down here trying to get a coffee, so I thought, come on, you're going on the radio.
Good. I was slumming around, you said, right?
Yeah, slumming, yeah. Russ Francisco is probably listening, wondering, what happened to his turn? Let's talk just a little bit. Some tips how to catch fish on the opening weekend. It's different than, say, August or September.
Let me start with saying that these are all lies because all fishermen lie. I'm just kidding, right? Anyway, it's going to be a cold morning and kind of windy and a little bit cooler. So make sure you put on a jacket and be prepared for the weather. With that being said, it's going to be kind of nice with the sun and stuff. So it's typical Minnesota opener, really.
Minnows, leeches, or crawlers?
It's going to be live bait for me. It's probably going to be minnows of the sort of type of big fathead minnows. If it was up to me, I would grab the biggest fathead minnow in the box I could find.
And you hook it on a plain old hook, or do you put a jig there? This
is a great question because everybody's like dorsal fin, tail, mouth, this and that. To me, it's right up through the middle of the brain, not hitting the brain. You want that minnow to be swimming. So just kind of the lips, on the more towards the lips of the minnow, but through the head. So I want it through the head.
How deep?
Shallow. Can't be shallow enough. You know, it's cold water, and walleyes are not afraid to be up shallow when it's just chilly. And they're coming off the spawn. Some stages are in spawn, so depending on where you're going to be, there are fish that'll have some fluids in them. So if you're further north up by Ely, etc., there's going to be some spawning fish around here. There'll be post spawn, but you can't be shallow enough. 3, 4, 5. The go-to will be 6 to 10 feet for us.
And as the season goes, they'll be dropping.
As the season goes and the water temperatures raise, the days get longer still, yes, they'll be dropping to deeper waters.
Biggest fish, biggest walleye you've ever caught?
Oh, let's see. Green Bay, I got a 31.5. I've gotten a couple over 30. Locally, we've gotten a 30. But I think I got 4 over 30 inches in my life.
Favorite lake?
Yes. The answer is yes. Yes.
I've been there.
Yeah.
You go early in the morning? You stay late at night?
Good question. This time of year, you want those water temperatures to kind of kick in a little better. So it's going to be colder in the morning, of course, and by 10 mid-morning to afternoon, and then throughout the end of the day, that's probably going to be a good key temperature. So you're looking at that 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock might be a prime window for a flash bite.
Wind drifting or trolling motor?
Oh, good question. So with the wind, that's awesome. We'll have a little bit of surface breakup. There is no rhyme or reason where you're going to go. But for me, kind of drifting around, maybe kicking the trolling a little bit, just spot on a spot, so to speak. If you get a bite, hit the spot locker anchor mode and milk it for a minute. But if they stop biting, move on. I mean, fish are moving just like you should be.
Lund or Ranger?
Oh, man. Definitely a Lund. RJ Sport Cycle. Yes. We both compared our boats there, and we both got the Lund Impact. We're Impact guys. That's awesome. Yep.
Okay. You're out of here.
All right. Sounds good. You guys have a wonderful fishing opener. Thanks so much for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
a lot. Okay. Hey, Russ Francisco. We got some good tips there.
You did. Jared is a good guy. Good guy.
He says you're a good guy. He says you're a good guy, right?
Russ, I said hi. I love him.
Okay, we need more microphones. Well, Russ, those were some very good tips that he threw at us.
Yes. We were just having those conversations this morning with people.
Yeah.
Where do we go? Well, wherever it is, it's probably going to be close to the bottom. And that's probably what we should plan on doing. And a jig and a minnow will probably be the lure of the day. However, guys running spinners and gals running spinners, and crawlers, real slow presentation might do okay, too.
Like my grandpa once said, you'll never catch fish unless you get off the couch and quit watching TV. Get out there.
Yep. Get out there and do it. And don't be willing to change. If it's not working, if you don't see, we're telling you the fish will be shallow, but if for some reason some bad weather comes in, drives them a little deeper, just follow your sounder. Look for them. Wherever they are fishing,
You're one of the few people that call it a sounder. I like that.
It's been a long time. Yeah, I've been around a long time. So originally we were using sounders because they were for when the original depth finders, if you will, were depth finders. They were put on bigger boats so we didn't run aground. And then when Lawrence decided that we could use these things to find fish, because he was a sonar engineer, and he came up with the first flashers. Actually, the first depth sounder I ever ran was a Ray Jefferson. It was a needle, went 0 to 60 feet. You just watched the needle, and it would go up and change the depth you went, and it was a real sounder. And as we went, we had fish. We have locators, and we call them fish finders and all kinds of stuff. But really, all there are is an echo sounder, and that's what they are. And even the fancy ones today are just echo sounders. They all work on the same theory. They improve it, and they have different signals, but it's the same theory.
And probably a thanks to the military for developing such a thing.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of it came out of the military, and then of course, after World War II, a lot of things changed. And from WD-40 to crosshairs to depth sounders, they all changed. Everything got better.
Yeah. Biggest fish you've ever caught, Russell?
Biggest walleye, about 28 inches. I took Cory fishing years ago up at Lac Seul. The first fish he caught was 30 inches, so it doesn't matter who you are, if you're lucky enough. And he was just a little kid at the time, and he had a ugly stick rod, so nothing fancy. So he catch these big fish. But yeah, it's sort of cool. It's to watch people catch fish. But I'm one of them guys that I'd rather catch a lot of fish than one big fish.
Oh, yeah.
People say, I want a trophy, but I like action. I like to catch lots of fish.
Yeah, I'll take even a 5-inch fish over. 5-inch fish 20 times a day over one 10-pounder.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's where you were going there. So, what kind of line? What's popular right now? I've got yellow, and I've got really bad vision. And Strandberg, I don't know. I got to have that vision. I need that.
Yeah, it's funny because 30 years ago, it was all invisible line.
Yeah.
And then I started fishing with some guys that were bass fishing, some pros, and they would let me free fish with them. Mm-hmm. And I would come with my Maxima line, and they'd say, "We'll give you a rod to use." And I said, "Well, that's all bright yellow and orange line." Yeah, we can see where your line is. We're casting here. So they taught me something about the line. But as people have gotten older, and that's really as our demographics have gotten older, we're selling a lot of orange chartreuse line, and we put fluorocarbon on the end, and so people can see the line, and that's really true. And so it's when people say, "Do you still sell more clear line?" Yes, we do, but we sell a sizable amount of orange and yellow lines that people can see in fluorescent colors, and we just put a clear leader on it. That's all. So and it makes it really easy for everybody to see stuff.
I made a really bad mistake a couple of years ago. We were, I think we were up by Grand Rapids, actually Winnicott, and my line, I don't know, I lost a lot of line, and I have maybe a foot left of my yellow. So I ran over to a store and grabbed a reel of, or a spool of yellow line, and when it rang up, it was like $30.
Did you get some kind of non-stretch line?
I guess so. It's still on the spool, but I thought, that's ridiculous. I don't need to pay that much, do I?
You don't, but you can. And here's a couple of things about braided lines. Braided lines last a lot longer. So you put braided line on your reel, and you're probably good for a decade. Just keep changing the leader on it. So there's a lot to be said for that. And non-stretch. The disadvantages of non-stretch line, and when you say there's a disadvantage, people say, I thought it was just better. Yeah. Well, it's better because it doesn't stretch. But if you're in a situation where you're fishing with people that haven't fished very much, where you need that give on the line, mono is still the preference. For things like that. We sell a lot of braid. We sell tons of braid, especially on the Great Lakes for deep sea diver work and things like that. But monofilament is still the line most people go to, and it's forgiving. It does the job, and it's just good line. And you should just change it every year, though. You got to change it every year because it just gets old. The sun eats it up, and the weather and stuff.
Well, with the line that strong or maybe stiff, could I pull it out of the fish's mouth without this stretch?
Yeah, especially if we got quick hands.
I do. I do. Yeah.
Yep. So it's the biggest problem with stretch line, like on surface fishing, is that with kids is they're so quick, they're so agile, they actually pull the fish, the lure out of the fish's mouth before he can close them out. So when we teach kids, if we're teaching kids bass fishing on surface, we always tell them to bow to the fish before you set the hook. Just give them a second to make sure it's in their mouth, because their hands are so quick that they'll pull it away.
Count to 5. 1, 2, 3.
No, just a bow the head. I mean, 1, 2, set the hook.
Okay.
Just that split second. But when you set on the splash of the fish on the surface, especially if it's bass, you pull it right out of their mouth. They close their mouth, there's nothing there. So you just got to 1, 2, bingo. Just takes them a second, and then it's in their mouth, and you got them.
Do you like fishing topwater?
Yeah, that's my. I like jigging, but I love topwater. I think I get a blast when the water explodes.
Oh, that's why your grandson is in that. He's just, what is he, 14 or 15? He's in a tournament group.
Yeah, he's still in the junior bass thing. Yeah. Last year I taught them how to do. We were fishing tournaments, and fishing was really tough. And I had a box of square-billed crankbaits, if you will. You don't use them very much. And I thought, well, what the heck, we're not catching fish, and they just knocked the fish out with it. That was just we happened to be in the right spot at the right time, and it was really good. So there's my thing. I would say I would have never normally tried that bait. If I wasn't catching fish, I would have ran more spinner baits and different things like that. But I was with these kids, and I thought, well, what the heck? We have nothing to lose here. And so so I was breaking my own rule. If nothing's happening, just keep throwing different stuff on until the fish bite. Sooner or later they're going to bite something you throw at them.
That's the truth. Some good deals at Marine General Supply for opener.
Okay, we got the place stocked full, so if you buy a Fenwick rod, we'll give you a reel at no extra charge. We've got buy 2 spools of Suffix line, whether it's braid or monofilament, you get the third one at no extra charge. We've got all kinds of deals on baits. We got deals on nets, everything you need to get out. It's going to be a real rush this weekend because we didn't get much spring, so a lot of folks are going to be out just trying stuff out for the first time, so be patient if somebody goofs up at the launch and ramp or if it seems crowded or people make mistakes. It's the first time out, and people just they haven't had a chance to run their boats yet, so people are going to make mistakes, so be patient.
Final question. If you go fishing tomorrow, and I know you got to work, where would you go?
I'd go to, because it's close, I'd go to Island Lake, Fish Lake, probably. You could go down to Sand Lake down south of town here, but I'd probably go Island Lake, Fish Lake, and fish close to the bottom. And like Jared said, probably shallow, but if for some reason we're wrong and there's no fish in the shallows, they'll be on the bottom somewhere. Just you got to find them.
Russ Francisco, keep a tight line. We'll talk next week, too. Thank you.
See you, bye.
Hey, Dave, before we go, one thought. He mentioned Island Lake, and I do live very close to it.
Yeah.
I can be there in a blink of an eye. I don't live on the lake, but lake I'm on is secret.
That's right, secretly.
Secret. I was out there last Sunday fishing for crappies.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't have a very big boat.
Okay.
It's a nice boat. I barely got under the bridge with my windshield.
Ooh, so there's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Is that good?
If you've got a bigger boat, you can't get under the bridge.
Oh, well.
Maybe it went down, maybe it went up. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. But be cautious.
Okay.
That's very expensive windshield. We'll be right back.
All right.
You're listening to KDAL's Fishing Frenzy with Rick Jordan.
Yeah, and Pat Kukul, too. That's the important part. Good morning. Pat Kukul. Paging Pat Kukul.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
Are you there?
Well, you had me on eternal hold.
That wasn't me. That was...
we got a bunch of stuff we have to do. I'm sorry.
Oh.
All the commercials.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. So if you were going to get a tattoo, what kind of tattoo would you get?
I'd get one of...
And I'm on the phone with the radio. Call me back in a half hour. Yeah.
Who's getting the tattoo, me or that caller?
No, you.
I would get my red Labrador Retriever.
Oh.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought it'd be a big fish or something.
Okay.
I did too. Yeah.
That too. You'd get a deer.
I don't know what I would get. I'm so terrified of looking at a needle. We have this conversation all the time, and I'm going, oh, my God, I can't even think about it.
I never had a hankering for a tattoo.
No, I never did either. But since you had the whole I was just sitting here thinking about tattoos as I waited for you to come on the line.
Was there?
And we're here now.
Was there a tattoo in a TV show years ago? Okay, let's talk about
the plane. The plane.
That's the guy. Yeah, tattoo. So, what are you doing today?
I don't know. I have no idea. We're doing inventory today.
No wonder you're a little wacky.
I am wacky for sure, and I have a great deal of respect for these people who can just look at the wall and their fingers go 100 miles an hour, and I'm amazed and impressed by that. And they're so non-intrusive. It's great. We've got already, it's been a good week. We're still, we're selling the safes yet, too, and that's always, for some reason, a spring thing. Safes and safe accessories and the dehumidifiers that go with them, of course. With trap season, we've got a lot of trap vests and trap bags. We're just getting rid of a few of those. I shouldn't say getting rid of, but that's what we're doing is we're selling them.
Recycling.
For a profit, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So we're selling stuff, and I think that's our job. It's always interesting to me how many rifles and scopes we sell, and I'm going to say not in season, if you know what I mean, without a season. And I'm always glad when people do that because it means they're planners. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got this ready. It's not the day before, and we're gonna pull the trigger, make sure the scope is good and fits you, and so we really like that. We're not rushed. They're not rushed. They can make a good choice. So that's always good planning that I see that as. Basically, we're just moving along. We're going into the spring with the trap shooting, as I said, and sporting clays. And I'm waiting to hear if the Douglas County Fish and Game League is going to be open 3 days a week, and I haven't heard that yet. So we'll see. Tomorrow night I'm going to Iron River for the Whitetails Banquet, which will be the last banquet of the year. And they have a big crowd there all the time, that's for sure, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Did I hear you say prizes?
Oh,
yeah.
We've got over 30 guns they're raffling off there, so that'll be fun at the community center in Iron River. Always a good time. Good people out there. So, yeah, we're busy.
Good.
And no time to get a tattoo.
I'd get one that would wash off.
Yeah, I could do that. I can't even do that.
I don't even like to get tetanus shots. That's crazy.
I don't. No. I know. I'm a coward, pure and simple.
Yeah. Where is Superior Shooter Supply located?
We are at the corner of Ogden and Winter in Superior. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 5. And we buy, sell, and consign firearms. And we're here to help.
You do. You do a very good job. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Good job. 9:32 on KDAL. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with a lot more.
All right.
It's Rick Jordan and the KDAL Fishing Frenzy. Listen to previous shows on our podcast page at KDAL610.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is a previous show.
What?
Isn't
this
it?
Is now.
Oh, are we alive?
We are live.
With
as live as we can be.
Oh, Johnny Charleston's busy. That phone rang about 40 times up there, Johnny.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Busy store today.
Yeah, we're just starting to get a little bit of scramble going.
Those folks that didn't get their license better do it before midnight tonight if they're going fishing.
Yeah, you're going to have your license on you on the lake, and I think there's going to be some enforcement this weekend, so better get that license.
Oh, you ran into Kip Duncan, huh?
Not yet, but it's going to happen.
Kipper, I've been checked by 2 of his family, including his dad, so I recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, definite.
Yeah. You selling lots of licenses, and those are available by phone, too. right?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of licenses going up the door, a lot of minnows. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get your license yet?
We did. We stopped by, yeah. We got a husband, wife. She probably will once hold the fishing rod. That's about it, once.
Yeah. We got some leeches in for you.
Oh, good. Big size, little
leech
size.
truck came in. Everyone wants the really big ones, but they never really start really big in the season. But they just keep on getting bigger as the water warms up.
My son and I were up last week on Island Lake, and I mentioned earlier, you should mention this to some of your people. When you see a big boat in your parking lot, if their windshield is, kind of tall, you can't get under the bridge.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, we're up to our high water marks, I think, on Island right now.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know where the mark is.
Yeah.
I was under there, I guess, 2-3 years ago, and another boat came through and caused a wave which pushed my boat up, and I broke the windshield. So
no!
I'm very conscious of that killer bridge there over Island Lake, and it's very, very high water this year.
Oh, we'll have to remember that for the upcoming ALS.
Yeah. We do have several options getting on the lake. One of the least used might be the one down by the dam.
Yeah, that if you go and put in at the dam, then you probably won't have to even go under that bridge.
Where would you fish on, say, Island Lake?
I think I would. I think I would put that in at the dam and go fish with some of that. With some of that water coming in from Boulder.
Yeah.
Bet you there's some walleyes pretty close to their spawn beds.
Well, it's funny you'd say that because I can't verify walleyes, but I can tell you that there was a dandy crappie there last Sunday afternoon. Yeah.
All right, you were out scouting. Excellent.
No. We were fishing for crappies, John.
Right. Exactly. Well, yes. Yeah. Scouting for crappies.
Yeah. What would be your favorite kind of live bait for the weekend? You got about 3 choices, right?
My number one, early cold water chubs are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You get some of those nice medium-sized chubs out in front of some of those hungry young male walleyes that just got done with the spawn, and they tend to feed pretty good, and that works out pretty good for the fish fry too.
Good choice, excellent choice. All right, some good deals from you guys up there at Charleston's on the way to the lake.
Well, we just, like I say, we just got our leeches in, and we have half-pounders for $22, and we have the 1/8-pound pack, which is for $10, and there's quite a few leeches in one of those 1/8-pounders. There's probably about 25 or so.
Wow. And
the crawlers, we're running a 25 pack for $6, and if you want 100 crawlers, four of those 25 packs for $18. That's so you can load up the coolers with them crawlers, and you'll have some good bait.
John, I learned a lesson last summer. I put new line on my reel, and boy, did I make a mess.
Yes.
She vowed that I must go to Charleston's for new line.
Yes, we have 5 cents a yard. Bring in your spools or your reels, and we'll get them filled up for you. And we have quite a selection of mono, and we have the Maxima and some Trilene and some good suffix. So we got some good quality line. And if your line's old and tired, good time to change her out.
Yep, good thoughts. Well, you keep a tight line and keep the door open.
Yeah, we'll keep the lights on this weekend.
Attaboy. Thank you, Johnny Charlstrom. We'll see you in a little bit. KDAL time. Doggone watch.
9:39.
That's what I was going to say.
All right.
9:41 on KDAL. John Jones, top of the morning to you.
Good morning, Rick. How are you today?
I am great. Snowbird Willies, you're looking good on the way to the lake.
We're trying.
Yeah? Well, I saw your dog running around up there. I thought, I got to let my dog out. You got to get to know each other.
Well, we are dog-friendly here, that's for sure.
Dog-friendly. I like that.
Yeah.
So what kind of...
Sometimes there's 3 dogs here.
Oh, what else you got?
Well, Clayton's got a Basset Hound / Wiener dog.
Oh.
And then there's another fella that helps out here. His name is Sam, and he's got a Siberian Husky.
Oh, which one just barked?
That was Kelso, the Wiener dog.
Oh, cute. Cute.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of job are you working on today? I know you're always busy.
Well, I am working on a well craft and building a isinglass enclosure with a drop curtain in the back for a young fella from the area. And Clayton's rebuilding a 24-foot Sylvan pontoon with a new floor and all new upholstery and custom covers for the seats instead of a entire boat cover. They're just going to cover the seats up. So we got to make covers for each seat.
I had a pontoon boat that I said, this thing is tough. I don't need to cover it. And I didn't for 2 years. And then I replaced the seats and the carpeting. Yeah,
the weather raises heck with these pontoon boats. Yep. We do a ton of, especially the flat seats, we do a ton of just the flat seats. People bring in, 6, 8, 10 just flat seats, and we'll reupholster them, new foam sometimes if the foam is shot, because a lot of times the foam gets bad, or the wood gets bad if they got a wood bottom. So, but yeah, covering them up is good, and when a person switches from carpet to woven vinyl, you can get by with just seat covers. It seems to work pretty darn good because that woven vinyl is very tough.
Yeah. Selection of colors, right?
Oh, yeah. We got probably a dozen different colors for flooring, but we probably do 25 pontoon restorations a year here. So
you don't do
quite a few.
You don't do windshields, do you?
We don't do windshields unless they're made out of isinglass, Strataglass, the sewable, flexible vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
But, we're not a windshield outfit.
Well, there's going to be some windshields damaged by the bridge at Island Lake, I think, this summer. The water's pretty high.
Water's pretty high. It's come down a little bit.
Good.
At least I think it has. We put our docks in last weekend, just the docks, no lifts yet. But and it's about as high as it gets for us, anyways. But it looked like it'd come down. I was gonna level out one of the docks, and I could see that the water had come down an inch or so. But I know the river is very high downstream from the dam because my parents live down by Hunter's Lake, and they got a lot of water in the river.
Yeah, I've actually fished on Hunter's Lake.
Yeah, that's a good little lake. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of just a wide spot in the river, but that's kind of where I grew up.
Oh, did you?
Fishing in that river and fishing in the Hunter's Lake and Bowman Lake and
Bergen. Is Bergen Lake?
A little bit Bergen's not connected, but I grew up a little bit down there. I had relatives on that lake, so I spent some time there when I was young.
Sweet. Good. All right.
Yeah.
What are your hours?
Well, right now they're probably 7 in the morning till 5:30 at night, Monday through Friday. But I've been here every Saturday for months. So I mean, once we get through this big push till Memorial, then there'll be less Saturdays here. But pretty much if you stop by, if you see my truck out there and you stop by, we can take care of business for you.
So you live on Island Lake. Where would you fish?
Boy, they sure do good right by the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like that's where there'll be a lot of people fishing off the bridge tomorrow, and there'll be boats stacked up in there, I would think. And
yep.
I kind of like fishing the humps out in the middle of the lake, and boy, I'm not the greatest fisherman, so I'm not one to give great advice, but I kind of just like doing it. Don't catch a lot, but I like doing it. So,
you got to practice more.
I do got to practice more, but then you go to Canada for a weekend and you're spoiled, and then you don't want to fish here.
Where do you go up there?
I like to go to Lac La Croix up to Campbell's Resort. Been going there for a bunch of years. They're great people, and it's just beautiful.
No wonder you get spoiled up there.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Well, one of the spots that I always have to hit is the falls, the rapids.
Oh, okay, yeah, people will be up there too.
Yep. All right, what are your hours? Sounds like you're there all the time, actually.
Yeah, I would say at this time of year, 7 to 5:30.
Okay, good. And where do we find you, John?
6660 Rice Lake Road, and you can call us at 218-940-1921.
John Jones, Snowbird Willie's, great place. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Keep a tight line.
Time now for a Natural Resources Minute, brought to you by the Minnesota DNR.
Minnesota's outdoor community is right here. However you enjoy the outdoors, we've got a place for you online. We've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Pick your platform. We're posting fishing updates, recreational news, state park updates, wildlife information, events in every season, safety training, volunteer opportunities, and conservation stories from across the state. You'll find easy ways to stay informed before you head out to enjoy Minnesota's natural resources. Check us out on social media, and then we'll see you outside.
For more information, call 888-646-6367. This has been a Natural Resources Minute from the Minnesota DNR.
You're listening to KDAL's Fishing Frenzy with Rick Jordan.
Hey, we're back here at 9:50 on KDAL. Matt King, top of the morning to you at Fish Corner.
How are we doing?
Well, you and I are going fishing this weekend, but you got to work. You got to work.
I'm going to get other people out fishing.
Well, that's true. That's very kind of you.
Yeah. Set them up with some bait and tackle and everything.
Yeah, well, what kind of bait should I bring?
Well, I would say if I was going out, I think leeches or minnows would be my. But we're selling a lot of crawlers too. So, but I would. But I'm a big. I like leeches, and I think one of the reasons I like them is they're tougher.
Yep.
So they can handle a fish pulling on them a little bit, and they don't come right off your hook. So
they don't come back.
That's one of the things I like.
They don't come back in half either.
No, not usually. No. So yeah, I'm kind of a leech fan, but this time of the year it seems like minnows are the number one thing people go for. Then probably the leech and the crawler are right there, tight kind of. And then that'll transition as the summer goes on. We'll kind of go more away from minnows and go more towards leeches and crawlers. And then it comes full circle. You get back towards the fall, and then people start using minnows again.
Yeah, interesting. Full night crawler, or do we, trim them a little bit?
So, what I would say is, depending on how you're fishing them, guys who fish, a lot of guys fish crawlers now on a jig,
yep.
And they'll thread it right on the hook, and then they pinch it off, so you got maybe an inch or inch and a half hanging behind that hook. If you are running a 3-hook harness on a spinner, then I would say a full crawler. If you're running a 2-hook harness, then pinch that crawler off. That's what I would kind of go with as far as the crawlers go. And I don't think I would run a single hook spinner for, crawlers. I think that's kind of a tough one to do. That's my take on that.
Pretty good take. I like it. There is a couple of guys that make 2 and 3 hook harnesses, little spinner at the top, different colors, maybe a bead or 3 here and there, and those seem to work pretty good. I don't know the guys that do this, but I think they're local.
They are. So we've got a few different local places. AJ Tackle's one that you'll see in the store here. He's been making spinners for this store for probably 20 years or better. And then the other one is Polly Wally.
Yep.
And he's been making them too for forever. So we got both of those in here, and they make them different, right? I mean, they both make gold in those, but they both have their different color combinations and stuff, and some of them with floaters and different things, different color bead combinations. But and like you say, 1 hook, 2 hook, 3 hook. We've got all those, and those guys do a great job. I'll tell you what, both of them. And Polly Wally, he's got some custom painted ones too. So he custom paints some of the spinner blades. So those are pretty neat and unique. We also have another one called Mad Scientist Tackle, which is down in Finlayson. That's a whole different color combination. It's called like Predator Vision. So it's a different looking spinner that they've paid for this paint process. It's quite a unique spinner, and those have been really hot too.
Is it flashy then?
It is. It is kind of metallic-y, but it's got different colors, and if you turn it, it almost like changes colors, and then they tell you on here, like this one's good for clearer water, dirtier water, different things like that. So, it's pretty good, unique deal. And then we've got all the other big name brands, Quick Change and Northland and all those, the mainstays, I guess is what you'd call it. But we got lots of different kinds of spinners. I also got another guy from southern Minnesota down there by Mille Lacs, Shearwater Tackle. He does really nice spinners too. They're again different combination of colors than the other ones. So it's really good to have these guys doing these special things that you can't find just everywhere. These guys do special types of spinners.
It's interesting, if a guy who's making, or a family even that's making lures, spinners, if you will, for Mille Lacs, and another guy's making spinners and lures for Winnie, Cutfoot, or, northern Minnesota. It's funny how they're just a little bit different. The water's the same pretty much, huh?
Yep, but we get into different styles, different patterns, and things like that for different areas. And people they get, this one works really good over there, and so they really gravitate towards that one then. And, it's like the old saying, right? You got all this stuff in your tackle box, but what do you go to all the time? Your favorite, right?
The same one.
Yep, the same one. And then if that's not working, then you start venturing. But you always go to that same one first to see if Old Faithful can come through for you.
Old Faithful. Yeah, I've heard that. How deep would you go if you're looking for walleyes this weekend?
I would be in as close as 2 feet of water all the way into, I would say, out to maybe, 7 feet or so. I'm thinking because of the coldness of the temperature of the water, these fish are going to be in shallow. That water's going to warm up a little bit with that sun comes out in closer. The other thing is you could find them in the currents, too, where rivers come into lakes or, up here we got some pretty unique spots where these bridges go in between these lakes and you get current that's created there and a lot of bait fish then that hangs out there and that can produce some pretty nice walleyes, too.
The old There was an old saying that said something like "match the hatch." That's kind of tough to do, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that, where that really comes into play is more when you're fly fishing.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
I think that's a little bit more, but, it's, I don't think, this water's so cold, I think these fish are going to be, like I say, the shallower the better, because I think that water will warm up, make them a little bit more active.
We had pretty cold weather, maybe a couple of days of, wow, it's nice out. The rest of it has been brr.
Yeah, I had a guy from the range come in today. He was up in Aurora this morning right away. He said it was 19 at his house this morning.
Yikes. Hey, you got any good deals at the store? Fisherman's Corner?
We do. We got all of our rods and combos on sale. We got 10% off your bait coolers to save your bait. We got tackle boxes, fishing jigs, all line, and life vests are all 20% off. So stop in and check it out. We'll be here. We'll get you out on the water.
And for heaven's sakes, wear that life jacket.
Sounds like a good plan.
Matt
Thanks,
King,
Rick.
We'll see you next week. Good luck if you do get out. Wow, time's flying, isn't it?
It always does when you have fun.
Oh, we started out with Jared Houston. Never met him before. Nice guy.
All right. It's news next.